Welcome to The Explainer. This is where we break down the big, complex topics using the source material itself. And today, we are tackling a genuine crypto mystery.
So today we're diving headfirst into one of the biggest paradoxes in all of crypto, the Pi Network. You've probably heard of it. I mean, this is a project with a massive global following, a community that's literally bigger than a lot of countries. But here's the kicker. It has a currency that you can't officially buy or sell on any exchange. It's just not there. So what is really going on here?
Okay, let's just try to wrap our heads around the scale here. We're not talking about a small project. This is over 55 million engaged members. I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. That makes it one of the absolute largest communities in the entire digital currency space. And yet, and this is the crazy part, it's completely sealed off, firewalled from all the other crypto markets. That's the central paradox we're going to unpack today.
All right, Section 1, the common expectation. To really get why there's so much confusion and debate around Pi, you've got to understand the world it grew up in. For most people, the typical crypto experience is this wild, high-speed, high-risk roller coaster, and it's all fueled by one primary dream, right? Getting rich and getting rich fast.
And you hear stories like this one from a member of the Pi community all the time in the crypto world. I mean, people see these incredible, life-changing gains, but they also see devastating losses. And all of that chaos creates this really powerful expectation, this idea that the only end goal for any crypto project is that huge payday when it lists on an exchange. It's all just a big game of speculation.
So it's totally natural that this mindset shapes the whole conversation around Pi. People see this simple Mine on Your Phone app, and their brain immediately jumps to the one question that matters in that speculative world. When is it listing? When can I cash out? But, and this is the big question, what if that is completely the wrong way to look at it? What if that's the wrong question to be asking?
And yeah, that brings us right to the heart of this whole paradox. Because if you read Pi's own white paper, if you listen to the core developers, they'll tell you that focusing on an exchange listing means you're completely missing the point. You're missing the whole show. They argue they are playing a much, much longer game here.
See, the founders of Pi looked out at the digital world, and they saw two huge systems that were, in their view, kind of broken. You had the traditional Web 2 platforms, the big social media giants, and then you had the first-gen cryptos like Bitcoin. And they believed both ended up with the same basic fundamental problems. So they designed Pi specifically to try and solve them.
So the big takeaway here is that they saw these two broken systems. On one side, you've got the tech giants making billions by capturing all the value from our attention, from our data, from our content, and on the other side, you had Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin was absolutely revolutionary, but it very quickly became centralized. It got concentrated in the hands of a few huge mining farms, and it became way too expensive and complicated for everyday people to get involved.
Okay, so if you're not racing to an exchange, what are you doing? Well, Pi's grand strategy is to build a self-sustaining, real economy first. And the foundation for that economy is an ecosystem built on three distinct but interwoven marketplaces. And the fuel for all of it? The Pi currency itself.
Now, this first one, the attention marketplace, is probably the most radical idea. It's designed to completely flip the old Web 2 model on its head. So instead of a giant platform getting rich off your clicks and your content, this system uses Pi to make sure that value flows directly from the people who appreciate the content to the creators who made it. No middleman taking a massive cut.
In this vision, it goes way beyond just online content. We're talking about using Pi for real-world stuff. Buying a coffee at your local shop, paying for a service from a freelancer, or interacting with a whole universe of decentralized apps. And the key is, you do all of this without ever needing to go through a traditional crypto exchange.
All right, Section 3, the path to open network. So that's the goal. It's ambitious for sure. But how are they actually planning to get there? How do you build this thing? Well, their answer lies in a really unique phased approach, a deliberate roadmap that they've apparently had planned from the very beginning.
And this roadmap has been public since day one. They've moved very methodically, step by step. They started with a simple beta app way back in 2019. Then they moved to a live testnet to stress test everything. And now they're in the current and by far the most important phase, the mainnet. But there is a very big catch.
They're currently in what's called the enclosed mainnet period. And honestly, this is the absolute key to understanding this entire project. The blockchain is live. It's operational. Real people are making real transactions with Pi. But it's all happening inside a bubble, protected by a massive digital firewall. And that firewall's job is to deliberately block any and all connections to the outside world.
No exchanges, no other blockchains, nothing.
I mean, think about it. This strategy is the polar opposite of a typical crypto launch. Most projects, what do? They rush to list on an exchange as fast as possible. They want to create that speculative hype, that trading volume. Pi is doing the exact reverse. They are painstakingly building a functioning, utility-driven economy first, all inside this safe, protected environment.
And that is why their recent call for business partners is so important. It's not about generating hype for an exchange listing, it's a direct, strategic move to build out that app ecosystem, to create real, tangible use cases for the currency before that firewall ever comes down. The idea is that they want the economy to be fully booted up and ready to go on day one.
So let's get into our final section, a new digital nation. The final question. When you look at it this way, the paradox of Pi, this giant network with no official price, it starts to make sense. It isn't an accident. It's not some kind of frustrating delay. It is a deliberate, calculated, long-term strategy. It's just a fundamentally different way of thinking about how to build a cryptocurrency.
The core takeaway is this: Pi is playing a completely different game. They are making a massive bet that a currency's true, lasting value doesn't come from speculative trading on an exchange. They believe it comes from its actual use in a real, functioning economy. They're betting that by building this huge, verified user base and a whole ecosystem of apps and services first, the currency will have real, intrinsic value the very moment that firewall is removed. Value from utility, not just hype.
And so, all of this leaves us with the ultimate multi-million-dollar question, doesn't it? Is Pi actually building a revolutionary new kind of utility-based economy from the ground up? Or is it an experiment that is just too ambitious, too unconventional to ever succeed in a world that is so completely dominated by speculation? We don't know. And the truth is, the real answer will only come when, and if, that network finally opens up to the rest of the world.